Like many, I am forced to work a boring job from 9 to 5 in order to be able to fund my lavish lifestyle of beard oils and flannels. So I was pretty bored at work, decided I wanted to go somewhere and check something out here in Boston. So I'm on my way to the Mother Church. If I were to use a word to describe Boston in the summer, it would be the word sweaty. There's something about the air in Boston during the summertime that is almost chowder-like in consistency. It kind of just like covers your face. Right now I'm waiting in the subway at the Haymarket station to go over to the First Church of Jesus Christ, Scientist, not the Church of Scientology, because that would be crazy. But this is the first church of the Church of Jesus Christ, Scientist, that was founded by Mary Baker Eddy. Cool thing is that this is actually one of the few religions in the world that was actually founded by a woman, and so we're gonna go check it out. Alright, so I am at the First Church of Christ, Scientist, which, as we said before, was founded by Mary Baker Eddy. Mary Baker Eddy was a woman from New Hampshire, born to a very strict and religious father who actually believed that her brain was too large for her head and decided that she should discontinue formal education at the age of 10. Yay, 19th century misogyny. This is very different than Scientology. The only similarity is the fact that Mary Baker Eddy kind of looks a little bit like Tom Cruise, but very different belief system. First Church of Christ, Scientist, doesn't believe that space aliens are going to come. Scientologists believe in, you know, cosmic space dust and radios that can tell you what you think and stuff like that. First Church of Christ, Scientist, their major belief is the fact that they believe that you can heal yourself through spiritual practice and through spiritual education. Their churches do not actually have priests. Their pastor is actually the Bible and also their main religious texts. So that's kind of cool. But with all religions, there's the crazy too, right? They believe in something called malicious animal magnetism. This is basically the belief that with the opened mind powers that are given to you by studying the Bible and studying other things, that you are actually able to affect the thoughts of other people. So imagine like a bunch of Jean Greys just really pissed off at people, right? Mary Baker Eddy actually believed that her followers could do damage to other people, and that there were defects from the church that were actively trying to unseat her. This was such a fervent belief of hers that she actually used to keep followers in her church outside of her personal bedroom to psychically ward off any malicious animal magnetism that would somehow affect her. I would probably liken this belief to a belief in juju. For those of you unfamiliar with the philosophical idea of juju or bad juju, it is a deep spiritual concept mostly talked about on the south side of Chicago, where if someone were to try to do you harm or to jinx you in some way, they would be giving you some bad juju. I know what you're thinking. Your beard, probably a product of malicious animal magnetism, and you are 100% correct. It has taken most of my psychic abilities to be able to grow this luscious beard. Others of you are probably saying, hey, that's crazy, right? Like, who in their right mind would ever think of this idea of Jean Grey before X-Men, right? And the answer to that is a lot of morphine. So many reports indicate that Mary Baker Eddy was a lifelong morphine addict. She couldn't get enough of the stuff, right? And back in those days, right, you didn't have to go to like some street drug dealer to get your morphine. You could just order from Sears and Roebuck, right? So just catalog drug dealing. So Mary Baker Eddy was basically just, you know, morphined the fuck out of her face. Not being able to feel her face, decided that it was probably the result of some malicious animal magnetism. So yay drugs, right? Keeping the world creative since the dawn of humanity. Actually, right across from the church itself is the Christian Science Publishing Society, which is the organization that publishes the Christian Science Monitor. A quick Wikipedia search informs me that the Christian Science Monitor was actually published by the Christian Science Publishing Society in about 1908, and they've won a couple of Pulitzer Prizes, so good on them. We are on the side of the church itself. This neo-Gothic monstrosity was actually built fairly recently. The older church is connected to it. This is the one that was actually founded by Mary Baker Eddy. To the side we have this very beautiful water fountain. And then over here we have their reading room. And then next to it, a bunch of stock photos of multicultural children that every crazy religion uses in order to be able to say, hey, we're diverse. We're not just a bunch of crazy white people talking about controlling people with our minds. Okay, so here we have it, the First Church of Christ, Scientist, erected in 1894 by the beloved teacher, Reverend Mary Baker Eddy. What is it about the word beloved that always says crazy dictator? Like, I just feel like whenever you see something that says our beloved, there's always some subtext that means, hey, this bitch is crazy. We also have some other, you know, code words for crazy, such as metaphysical. Whenever you see metaphysical, it usually means close the window out. This is something crazy. Don't listen to it. It's gonna infect you. Above it, there is a faceless woman in front of a book, who we can only assume is Mary Baker Eddy herself, leading her minions to attack the world, or to heal the world with their mental powers. So I just finished my tour inside the actual church. For some reason, churches don't like me. Whenever I walk in, they're always like super nice to like the blonde hair, blue-eyed dude, you know, looks ready for a conversion, and then for me, they're just like, yeah, you can just go. So I'm going downstairs unaccompanied. Okay, so we have finished our tour of the First Church of Christ, Scientist Complex. At the end, you have a wonderful waterfall with lots of kids and families playing. And then for some reason, you have creepy old white dudes that are in their bathing suits on the side, just doing random stuff. Thank you to Mary Baker Eddy for giving us this opportunity for children to play in water and for old white men in various states of undress to continuously creep out people in our society. Thank you. Stalin, say like and subscribe.